This is a motorhome that doesn't just handle bad weather. It assumes the worst-case scenario. Flash flood, rising water, roads gone, everything floating. So it seals itself like a capsule, deploys a full flotation collar like a giant life raft, drops anchor winches, and becomes a floating survival pod. This is submerge mode. And yes, this is absolutely insane. That's why you clicked. Most RV concepts chase luxury. This one chases a nightmare scenario. The type of weather where the news says, do not travel, and people travel anyway. Here's the brutal reality. In a flood, your biggest enemy isn't comfort. It's water intrusion, electrical failure, and being pushed like a toy. So the design goal is not amphibious RV. It's, if you're trapped, it keeps you alive. In normal drive mode, it looks like a hyper-luxury concept coach. Low aggressive nose, massive black glass visor, minimal seams, gold highlight lines, and an absurd multi-axle stance. But the body has suspicious features. Sealed panel gaps, recessed latches, intake shutters, and a thick beltline that looks like armor. Because hidden inside is the thing that changes everything. The flotation collar. This is the viral mechanics segment. Step 1, storm seal. Air intakes close behind protected louvers. Door seals engage, compression gaskets. External vents switch to high splash routing. Underbody electronics go into waterproof isolation. Step 2, ground lock. Stabilizer pods drop. Not for comfort, to resist current while deploying systems. Step 3, flotation collar deploy. A concealed perimeter bay opens around the coach skirt. A high durability collar inflates outward, wrapping the base like a giant life ring. It's not cute. It's industrial. Think offshore survival gear, but integrated into a luxury coach. As water rises, the coach stops being a vehicle. It becomes a sealed capsule, with flotation displacement doing the work, and the wheels become irrelevant. The collar provides buoyancy, stability, reduces tipping, and impact buffering against debris. This is not driving in water. This is not sinking. Floating is step 1. Surviving is step 2. So, submerge mode deploys anchor winches from both sides. Drop weight anchors for deeper water. Screw anchors for shallow soft ground. And a tensioning system that auto-adjusts. The goal is simple. Stop the current from turning you into a battering ram. If anchors can't bite, a secondary drift brake deploys, like underwater drag fins, to slow movement. Now here's the part that pushes it into unimaginable. Optional concept module. 2 compact electric water jets deploy from the rear bay. Not to speedboat around, just to crawl. Rotate the coach away from obstacles. Align toward higher ground. Hold position better than anchors alone. We're talking 2 to 4 miles per hour max. Control, not travel. Inside, it stays calm. That's the flex. The cabin switches to capsule mode. Emergency power prioritization, HVAC plus comms plus pumps. Humidity control so you don't drown in condensation. Sealed floor channels that route any microleaks to a sump. Interior lighting shifts to low glare night rescue mode. The vibe is spaceship calm while the world is chaos. And yes, it still looks premium. Warm indirect lighting. Minimal clutter. Lounge that feels like a high-end studio apartment. Let's be honest, RVs aren't boats. So the concept cheats with layered safety. Outer splash shell that handles water plus debris. Inner sealed cabin with compression gaskets. Sealed electrical vaults above the floor line. And a sacrificial lower bay that can get wet without killing the coach. The goal isn't dive, it's float and stay functional. Now the roast, because this is where credibility lives. Problem number 1, weight plus cost. A flotation collar anchors sealed systems. Pumps. This is heavy and expensive. Problem number 2, liability and regulations. Anything that floats introduces a safety category that's not normal RV territory. Problem number 3, reliability. If deployment fails at the wrong time, it's useless. This would require aerospace level testing. Problem number 4, false confidence. The biggest risk is people thinking I'm safe and taking stupid risks. So yes, this is insane. And it should never be marketed as invincibility. Layout, 16 out of 20, capsule logic works. Weight realism, 8 out of 20, systems add mass fast. Energy realism, 9 out of 20, pumps plus HVAC demand real power. Manufacturability, 10 out of 20, possible, but premium engineering. Safety/legal, 9 out of 20, complicated category. Total, 52 out of 100. Translation, wildly compelling, but heavy, expensive, and complex. So what's the move? Would you rather own A. Submerge Mode, Flood Survival Pod, or B. SKYDOCK, Cantilever Rooftop Skybridge Lounge? Comment A or B. You're stuck in a whiteout. Wind is screaming. Snow is hitting sideways like sandpaper. Now imagine your motorhome doesn't just handle it. It locks itself to the ground, deploys a heated perimeter skirt, seals into a double-shell thermal cocoon, and turns the entire interior into a warm core capsule that doesn't bleed heat like a normal RV. This is Arctic warmer, not winter camping. This is surviving the planet on hard mode. Normal RV winter packages are cute until you hit the real problems. Wind steals heat fast. Pipes freeze. Condensation turns your walls into a mold experiment. Batteries hate cold. And the moment you crack a door, your warmth disappears. So the idea isn't more heaters. The idea is stop losing heat in the first place. Build a motorhome like a thermos, then add aggressive systems that make it feel unreal. In a showroom, Arctic Warm Core looks like a luxury concept coach with a hypercar face. Low sharp nose, giant black glass visor, gold thermal seam accent line, and a ridiculous multi-axle stance that screams heavy, serious, engineered. But the moment you get outside, you notice the real difference. The body has two skins, a smooth outer shell, and a hidden inner shell beneath it. Because in this concept, the exterior doesn't just look sleek. It transforms into insulation. Here's the deploy sequence. This is your viral segment. Step 1, ground lock. Leveling pods drop and anchor. The coach becomes a stable platform. Step 2, perimeter heat skirt. A heated ground seal skirt deploys around the bottom edge, like a gasket that blocks wind from getting under the vehicle. This is huge because underbody airflow is where warmth goes to die. Step 3, cocoon panels close. Outer shell panels slide and overlap like armored petals, creating a second air gap around the cabin. That gap becomes a controlled thermal buffer. Step 4, wide-out vent engage. Air intake switches to a protected intake path with filtration, so snow doesn't clog everything. Visually, it's insane. Your motorhome just turned into a sealed thermal fortress. Now the outrageous part that feels like sci-fi, but is conceptually simple. Wide-out lockdown mode. Exterior lights switch to low-glare fog lines along the ground. The coach runs a perimeter sensor sweep. Doors auto-seal with compression gaskets. Internal air is recirculated with humidity control to prevent condensation. And for pure cinematic drama, a thin line of heat runs around the skirt, visibly melting snow at the base like a glowing halo. That's the shot people replay. Inside, the layout is designed like a capsule. The warm core spine runs down the center. Heated duct trunk. Plumbing routed inside the heated core, not in freezing exterior walls. Battery bay insulated and warmed. And a service corridor so maintenance doesn't require tearing apart furniture. The interior feels like a premium lounge. Warm indirect lighting. Minimal lines. Deep seating. Black glass plus matte finishes. Everything looks expensive and calm, even while the outside world is chaos. The vibe is spaceship cabin, not RV with a space heater. This is where Arctic rigs usually fail water. So the concept cheats the environment. Fresh tank inside the warm core. Great tank inside the warm core. Plumbing stays interior. And the exterior has zero exposed water lines. Outrageous feature. Instant drain plus purge mode. One button safely purges lines back into the heated core, so nothing sits in a freezing exterior section. Kitchen stays realistic. Induction, sealed storage, no clutter. Because in extreme cold, mess becomes problems. Rear bedroom is not a normal bedroom. It's a hibernation pod. Bed platform surrounded by acoustic plus thermal panels. Night mode closes a soft thermal partition curtain, insulated, magnetic seal edges. The sleep zone stays warmer than the rest of the cabin so you can run lower overall heat. That's the real trick. Heat the human zone first, not the whole box equally. Here's your "I've never seen this" feature. From the sides, the coach deploys windbreak walls, low-profile panels that extend outward a few feet and lock into the snow like fins. Purpose: reduce crosswind buffeting. Create a sheltered entry pocket so you can open a door without losing all heat. Block snow drift from piling against critical vents. It's like your motorhome deploys its own terrain advantage. Looks insane. Also, weirdly logical. Cutaway moment. This is where your channel stays credible. Double shell air gap. Heated skirt channels. Protected intake plus filtration path. Warm core plumbing corridor. Insulated battery vault with controlled heating. Radiant floor zones in the central spine. Backup heat source because batteries aren't magic. The concept is basically insulate plus seal plus control airflow plus keep the vulnerable systems inside the warm core. Now the roast. Problem number 1, weight. Double shell plus skirt plus mechanisms equals heavy. Multi-axle helps, but physics is physics. Problem number 2, complexity. Moving panels and seals and freezing, weather can jam. Ice is the enemy of anything that slides. Problem number 3, energy demand. Extreme cold burns power. Even with great insulation, you need serious heating strategy. Problem number 4, cost. This is not winter package. This is a purpose-built expedition machine. So yes, it's outrageous. But it's not random fantasy. It's a coherent system with brutal trade-offs. Layout, 18 out of 20. Warm core routing is smart. Weight realism, 11 out of 20. Double shell adds mass fast. Energy realism, 12 out of 20. Doable with hybrid heat plan. Manufacturability, 12 out of 20. Hard, but not impossible. Safety/legal, 11 out of 20. Deployables add complexity. Total, 64 out of 100. Translation, an engineered beast. If money and weight don't scare you. Now vote the next one. SKYDOCK, a rooftop skybridge lounge that cantilevers out over the landscape. B. Submerge Mode, a motorhome that becomes a sealed storm capsule with a deployable flood raft. No engines, just emergency flotation. Comment A or B.